What is up, everyone? Welcome to the 20 Podcast, brought to you by Beatsource. I'm your host, DJ Spider. On today's show, we are doing things a little bit differently. You know, we usually have me and the guest, and I'm interviewing them, and you're finding out all about their life and hearing little stories and tidbits from me. Today, we've got two of our past guests, both incredible guests. So if you want to hear all about their life, once you find out who they are, you can go back and search those episodes and hear all about them. But on today, we're doing things a little bit different. It's more of a roundtable discussion type of show where we're having both of them on and we're just kind of getting into what we get into. So I think you're going to really enjoy the episode. We just finished recording it. Both of these guys live in LA now, but they are both originally from Australia and Spain respectively. So very international episode. We're bringing the world together, or we're having them fight. We don't know what's going to happen. These guys are both incredible and successful music producers as well as great DJs. They have made a massive career out of, you know, all these different aspects, and you're going to hear a lot about it on this episode. We discuss their appreciation of the opportunities they have from having their visa to be able to work here in America. And that's something that I think maybe some people from America take for granted. And it was really interesting to hear that, and also to hear the process of how they got their visa, what goes into it, the money, the lawyers, and all of the things. So if you're interested in that, I think you're going to get a lot out of it. We also get into just the reasoning behind why they moved and why they thought they should live in America and not just live in their hometown. So all of that, super great info from them. We also get into different other things about like what platforms are best for them, social media or different things, YouTube, for them to get their music out and grow their brand. We also talk about their techniques, their philosophies on music production. They even give each other some tips, which is really cool to have two music producers helping each other out and learning from each other. And I got to just kind of be a fly on the wall and learn from it. There's a lot of useful information packed into this episode, along with some hilarious stories, because these guys are extremely entertaining. We got a lot of info about their home countries, and we learn about how much Australians love cocaine. So much stuff comes into play. You know, you're going to learn a lot, guys. Let's just get right into it. Please welcome to the show, Dawg and Sak Noel. Here we are, the 20 Podcast. We are doing a new type of interview today, guys. We're doing
pioneers.
We're doing an international, worldwide, global connecting interview today, because we've got someone from Australia, someone from Spain. We got Vlats in here from Colombia. True. So give it up for Dawg and Sak Noel. Woo! Let's go, let's go, let's go.
What's up, Dawg?
That's right, that's right, that's right.
Happy to be here.
Morning, cunts.
Thank you. So can you tell who's from Australia yet?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm from Spain.
Yeah, you do look like a Spaniard.
Yeah.
How would you say morning cunts in Spain? I wonder.
Oh man.
How do you?
It's like there's no translation to that. I think it's
How do you say morning? Like good morning.
Mañana.
Mañana,
like,
cunts.
No, but don't. No.
That's like trying to say
Or do you have
forehead
to
is
say-
like cuatro cabeza. Like
So,
it doesn't work.
You know, the finesse that the English language has for the cunt word, like the meaning of it, it's not in the Spanish
I think
vocabulary.
it's an Australian
it's
thing,
not.
not even just
Immediate
English.
warning: if your kid's in the car, turn this off.
Nah, cunts are for,
So we
cunts
don't
are
have
for
it.
the
We
children.
don't have a translation. It's just something we should invent.
Right.
Or-
if you say
or
that
not.
word in Spain, you just get slapped immediately, so it doesn't translate the same. Okay. Well, we are here. We're gonna have a whole new, more of a roundtable experiment episode. We've had
Love
both
it.
of these amazing DJs and producers on the show before. So if you want to hear all of their history in detail, go back, search the earlier episodes. I think it was like somewhere in the first 50 episodes, sort of the end of 2020. We had both of them on. It was mid-pandemic. I listened back to the episodes. I heard us talk, like me and Sak were trying to think about what it was going to be like when clubs opened again. You know, you were stuck in Australia, and I remember saying you guys had wiped out COVID 100% at that point in Australia. And there were zero cases during that podcast. Yeah. And we were like, this is amazing. And you were stuck there. You couldn't come here. You were like doing the song, like you were about to film the video, I think.
Yeah, no, I was in a good place musically.
Yeah.
But nobody was listening to like music because everything shut down. But I was like just growing. But you know, it's just at least it's how I felt. But it was a little bit of a letdown. Yeah.
No, you were about to put out the Pitbull version of your song Tokame, I think, and then like so much stuff. So it's been about almost. Pretty much 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
So 2 years in a pandemic and out of it. So much has changed. And the fact that we get to all be together in Los Angeles, in America.
And in this room because we can see each other. I mean, that's so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. So
then Zoom ones are good, but like I was saying before, like it's the in-person podcasts are the best.
Yeah. So much
have
better.
A proper conversation.
Exactly. So, and if you guys want to hear, you know, they've got such amazing stories. I'm sure we'll get into it. We'll tell each other. Maybe some stuff will overlap. But if you want to hear all the stuff in detail, go back and listen to that. And today we're going to kind of explore what's happened since then, talk about all kinds of current event DJ things and stuff you guys are doing, and then all kinds of weird stuff we were just talking about before we push record. See if we can hit all that.
It's always like everything happens before you press the right button, and now it's like, oh,
yeah, you guys missed out on some things, listeners. But we'll hit those.
We'll say them again in a proper way.
We'll say them again in a better way.
Not in a criminal way.
Uncensored, unfiltered way.
Yes, there's not censored. So this is not a family episode, guys. Turn it off. YouTube warning. So, yes, welcome to the show. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
I guess just how you feeling, first off, you know, what's happening?
I mean, I feel good. I feel good because we're all alive here, and it's been a hell of 2 years. But things been good. I mean, the music is always it's an industry that no matter what happens to it, it will never die because it's essential to the human experience.
So true.
But you know, it's changed, and we can talk about that because I feel like in 2 years we gone from like an ancient wall to a new wall, which is now the present.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And if you didn't catch the news or you're not up to date, you're basically obsolete at this point. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I sound like ominous, but it's like this.
I love the new era of music that we're in. The new, everybody's sampling everything. All like, the nostalgic feel. Like, catalogs are coming back. I fucking love that.
I feel like even how you were
for DJs.
Right, you were saying before, like how we even almost feel like we're in a time where like the DJ AM time where people might be able to blow up just from being a DJ or just from taking different sounds and putting it together, and the mashup sound has graduated into like the producers as well in a way where people are taking clips of everything, and that's what you're doing with your Dawg project where you're taking songs like people know, old songs, new songs just came out, and you're flipping it into your style, and then you're making mixtapes that are your style music all mixed together, you know, and then I know that's what you produce original music and then also do your remixes, and then
I just increased the volume of everything. Like, it's not. I remember when I started, like in 2010, you could do a song a year.
Oh yeah, now
and just relax and just live off it. But now, if I have to make like a song a week or a remix or content or everything because there's so much competition right now.
Right.
I've just been making like a snippet a week.
Exactly.
Because
or
that's
a snippet,
all you're giving them. Give them a trailer a week.
That's interesting. Is that a good way to just don't even finish the track and like waste your time? Just make a snippet, put it up, see the response, and then follow it up.
I like that, right? Because I follow people because you follow people because they come up in your feed constantly, right? Yeah. And you're like, that was dope, that was dope, that was dope. I tune out of like my favorite songs. I don't know the last 30 seconds of it. You know what I mean? That's some of my favorite records of press and skip. Or you go on to the end of the song because that's the best part of it, like Runaway by Kanye. But you know what I mean? It's like the whole project is like it's like the art of today is like if they were to do the Mona Lisa again. It's like you have to paint the Mona Lisa in its entirety, but you have to cut it into 1,000 digestible pieces and it'd be a single piece of art as well. And I feel like what we're in now.
That's a great analogy. Yeah. people don't have time to see the whole thing.
Yeah, they don't want to. We're finger food.
Yeah, you're right. That's interesting.
And I love it. Like you make that your canvas and then boom.
I mean, I rephrase. People do have time to actually watch things. They're just not used to it anymore. It's like even if they had like an hour, they wouldn't do it because they don't have the habit of actually sitting down for an hour. Like even if you're watching like Netflix right now, tell me if you're there like for a straight hour, would you just watch or are you actually checking your phone at the same time?
Isn't that why like
checking my phone?
Yeah, isn't that why like they say that TV series have skyrocketed because it's either 30 seconds or like 10 to 30 seconds on YouTube or a whole 7 series on Netflix. You know, give us the smallest amount or take my entire day.
Right. I know. I mean, I guess there's room for all of it. And social media has been training us for each platform of what to release, even though they keep then extending the time limit. Like TikTok, everyone's like, oh, it's just 15-second videos. And they're like, well, now it's a minute. Now it's 2 minutes. Now it's 3. Now it's like you can post like a movie. Like, I don't even know who watches that. I posted a 6-minute TikTok just to see what happened. Can you do 6 minutes? I did. I put like a 4-something minute.
What is the length you can do?
I don't know.
15 minutes.
Yeah, you could do like a movie.
But it's always the same. Like, you know, the original idea is great. And then there's the boardroom and then new people start to come in and they feel like they need to pitch something. And they always pitch the stupidest things like they go against the initial idea just because sometimes they have to pitch something, you know, they're sitting there or whatever, like, and they have to do something new. And sometimes you don't have to do something new. Like, wouldn't you take back the Instagram the way it was like 5 years ago? I think most of us would, but they just have to come up with stuff because it's what they're supposed to do that. Yeah. It's a little bit of a race and it feels pointless at some point.
Right. And well, also the goalposts keep changing or the rules keep changing, like how Instagram is like, okay, post reels. That's what we're going to show to everybody. And they even pay you, you know, to do the reel now. So then I was like, oh, you're going to pay me? Okay. So then I'm like more motivated to just post a ton of reels. And that's why I noticed some music producers I follow that don't do as much music now. I feel like post so many reels because they're trying to get that check from the Instagram thing, you know, and then they have, you know, even I saw how I was asking you earlier, Sak, how you have a subscription thing on your Instagram now, and like mine, I'm not cool enough, but I'm not mine's not available.
Not about that.
I'm joking, but I saw how you immediately turned it on, and you obviously had this plan, but you made a sample pack that you put out for people to buy. But if somebody subscribed to your page, they got it for free. And I'm like, oh, that's genius, you know. But you're immediately adapting to how the new system is.
I mean, it's great when they do stuff to actually get paid because at the end of the day, as a creator, you want to get paid. I mean, you can do so much for fun, you know. But these improvements are in I think in the good lane and in the good process to actually get more people involved because all those things that Instagram is doing, like paying for reels and paying for subscriptions and the fact that you could do a shop and it's business oriented, that's the good social media. Yeah. That's the way to go. Right. That's the way to go.
And that's the way where I guess your Instagram page is like your store and you're just like, okay, what can you do for your store? You throw events, you put a sign in the front, you do things to like call attention to it, you know, and that's what your postings are. And then you sell things through the store or get people to subscribe to the store or whatever it is. So in a way, Instagram is changing and it's annoying, like you said, but I think there's some good things that you could take advantage of.
I try to look at it less like, obviously, I'm like, oh, fuck, why did they change that? Right. I try to just look at it as like the new canvas on which I'm just do the art on. You know, so it's like visuals suddenly went vertical. So it's like, oh, fuck. Like
now I just film vertical. Yeah,
everything's shorter. Well, dope. Like, you know, I got to cram as much in and, you know, all the techniques and that. Like,
just a small tip here because I've been doing this and it's proven to work. Just I film horizontal in 4K.
Yeah.
And then you can zoom in. Yeah, you can take the vertical clip and the horizontal at the same time because many people ask me that. And I think it's worth sharing. It's stupid, but it might be useful.
No. That's what we do. That's actually good, and that's what we do with this. Vlats is over here. You guys can't hear him, but say hi.
I'm right here.
Yes. You guys get to hear Vlats.
Yes. Mad
so
cunt.
Vlats edits the videos. Vlats is the superhuman of our podcast, helps with everything, and he's also, you know, amazing in his own right. DJcity Latino. He's a remix. I play his remix that he did with one of your production partners, Salvi.
Yeah, they make great stuff.
Yeah, that Bad Bunny remix I've been playing all over. So props to Vlats. But the reason why I'm talking about him is that we do what you said. So right now we're filming in like, I don't know about 4K because we're doing so much, but we're filming in the horizontal, and then when we put it on, we do the up close for the vertical.
Yeah,
you know?
so you can cover all bases with this.
Yeah, because then we can put it on YouTube, and when we put it on Twitter, we keep it that way. But then when you put it on Reels, TikTok, or whatever, you can do it the other way.
Yeah, because I hate when people put horizontal on Reels. It's like, shit. No,
and
why?
I feel like
Why?
the algorithm or something looks at it weird because sometimes I've tried it and those get way less likes and plays than my vertical ones.
But you never know because I've seen people who have had shit recently, like my mate Kronic. Right, we always talk about like what will work, what won't, rah. And he posted like a snippet, a video of him playing at a club. It was widescreen on TikTok. People were like, yeah, that ain't going to work. And that's the one that blew up. And it's like, there's no
real way to predict.
Yeah, no one knows this shit.
I mean,
just
you always go by
play
this.
as much
like,
as you
people don't care.
Yeah.
What do you care?
Do what you think is dope.
Like,
that's it.
Would you actually do it? Like, would you put a horizontal video in a vertical format? I would never, because it will feel like I'm doing something wrong, so I don't do it because of me.
Yeah.
But I know people don't give...
No, they don't care.
You see all them rap videos that are like that.
Like,
It's the horizontal thing, and then it's like it's almost like
a
still
black screen.
From on the top of the bottom with the logo.
Yeah, like the artwork of the like.
I kind of
album
cringe when I see that looking up, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's making use of it.
Right, that's true. Yeah, I mean, there's different ways to do it, but you know, we've been. Pro. But I guess something that's, you know, like all these changes and we all adapt, and that's something for everybody out there to listen to, is that you got to adapt. You know what I mean? That's part of this game is that like people are like, how have you been doing this for so long? And I always kind of like relate it to like surfing or something. Like you have to like be one with the water, be able to flow with the water, go with the flow, how you were saying earlier. And like, and you're almost surfing this wave, and sometimes you're gonna be on the big part and the little part, but if you want to hang on, you have to keep adjusting your balance,
and then
keep
you can enjoy it more.
Noticing, rather than trying to like be like, well, this is how I do it and this is what I do. Like you have to, even if you're in the top, you have to keep adjusting and not be so in your,
especially if you're on the top.
Yeah,
you know, because you have more eyes on you.
Yeah,
it's like I see like many people criticize well, maybe not so many people, but some people criticize David Guetta. And I think he's one of the best ever existed because he's been adapting himself.
It's so true.
Since 20 years ago.
Doing that. Drake's a fucking genius of that shit.
Every time you can make fun of David Guetta's sound and like make a fake parody of it, he's on to the next sound. So you're right in a way. And you're like, wait, he doesn't do hip hop. And then he has like a rap song with Nicki Minaj. And then you're like, and if somebody doesn't like that, then boom, they, you know, it's this Titanium or, you know, whatever.
He's been a master on his craft. And,
dude,
you know,
Titanium is like coming back as like I play it again now. And like,
I love that.
It's almost like, because I feel like 5 years ago you played it and it was like, oh, you're playing a played out song. That's not cool anymore. And now you play it and it's like back, like nostalgia. Like everyone's singing every word. And
Ellie Goulding's Lights.
Yeah.
I think it's
levels,
like
all that shit. Like
yeah,
it's like 10 years.
Gap. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been like 10 years since a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, probably.
2012.
Probably.
Yeah. Because it's crazy. I've been dropping it now, and it's almost like these kids were probably like 12 years old when it came out. Now they're 22, and they're in the club. So they're like, oh, I've never heard it so loud and feel the bass and all that stuff.
And all the new songs coming out are flips of them sort of songs as well. So
and they don't even know.
They don't even know. Or even if they do, like,
yeah,
they want that.
Or like Joel Corey or Alok, or, you know, they'll come out with, they'll redo a lot of those old songs.
If anybody who's against it, go watch the documentary called Everything is a Remix, and it'll change your mind on like people flipping and sampling and that. It's like, oh, it's not original because they're doing that. It's like, no idea is original.
No,
Everything's a remix. Like, what language are we speaking in? We're speaking, we're literally sampling other people's words that they've made up every time we fucking say a word. So like as a producer that started as a DJ, every time I make a beat, I bounce it out, I throw it in my Serato, and I've got it there to see what it sounds like with this acapella or with that beat. I want to look at the WAV file because I'm like, I can kind of tell when
totally.
if a song isn't mixed and mastered right, I can tell by the way it looks.
Yeah,
and like it's weird.
Don't look at my don't look at my stuff
don't
ever.
look at my shit either. My shit
you're
sucks.
like, yo, you got a weird peak right there in a valley going down.
But and so like I absolutely love this era of nostalgia and everything bringing back.
But it's nostalgia for you, but not for the kids.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like I played in Atlantic. Yeah,
we're wise beyond belief now.
As you get older, everything is nostalgia. Like, oh,
you're
shit.
like, this Sierra song?
Yeah.
Check out all these other ones.
I played in Atlantic City, and I was towards the end of the set playing some more kind of chill house, and I played that Dead Mouse Cascade, I Remember, song. And this kid comes up and he's like, what is this? So good. And I was like, how old are you? And he's like, 23. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this Dead Mouse and Cascade. And he's like, oh, he'd never heard it. But that song came out when he was like 12. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The good thing is that in the past, when the records came out, they couldn't be uploaded on YouTube and stay there, right? So now, like since 20 years ago, everything has been uploaded. So all these kids now, they find music and they find something that's from the past.
Yeah.
From the recent past, and they have it as new, you know what I mean? Same quality, they can play with it.
Yeah.
So the culture is gonna evolve like in a weird way that's never been done before.
So
and not only just they're playing it, but they're manipulating it with all these apps.
Exactly.
Like they're speeding it up or they're slowing it down. They're mixing it to get like the things the creative shit you can do on these apps are making, like I'm seeing songs like that Ellie Goulding Lights or whatever, so just as an example, like blow up on TikTok. Now you can play it in the club again, but the version that blew up was a sped up version that people dance to. And so now people are like, oh, I'll play that song. You play it, but you didn't play it speed up enough.
Right.
They're like, what is this version?
Yeah.
Play the actual song.
It's also a new language, but I'm gonna throw you something even harder here, because I think in a year or two we'll have like AI made songs that will be exactly as human made songs. You know what I mean? You already are. You already are, because Australia, like that's a made up country.
Australian intelligence.
It doesn't exist. That's like
not a real place.
Australia. There's a movie that's called Australia, and that's probably where it got it from.
Exactly.
But it's a made-up country. So,
you're about to start a war between Spain and Australia.
Oh, no. Well, Spain wasn't even... a soccer war would crush you.
We're not bad at soccer, but okay.
The AI is going to be something, take in consideration.
I think that's true. I mean...
Yeah, that's some weird, wild future that...
I've seen these image generators that you type like
me too, like DALL-E and other ones.
DJ spinning in the desert, and they just appears like this. So imagine like cool song with a drop that's like whatever, and boom, you have it. And even if you just sample this and use it as your own,
that's gonna be the new splice.
Starting
right. They already have it.
Clip that.
They already have it.
So you can be like talking to the AI and be like, I need some like specific Latin sounding up tempo drums that have that bongo style rhythm, and then
make me a horn. Make me the sample, not the song. That's a really good one. I'll
see. That's how it's going to be integrated rather than take over.
It's called,
and then we're all going to die.
I'm pretty sure it's going to take over, but
yeah,
we can have the small parts too for us to have fun with.
Yeah, as long as I enjoy it, I don't care.
I don't want a machine to make a song for me.
I don't care if Drake makes the money or an AI makes the money.
I'm trying to look it up.
I'm not making it, who cares who makes it?
There's some app. It's called like Caro or Cara or something, but I think it's Splice came out with a artificial intelligence.
Oh, they
app.
did?
Yeah, I was trying to find it, but I just downloaded it. I hadn't messed with it yet, but it'll do like it shows different sounds that go together and the keys and the speed, like so many things. So it's helping you, and you swipe almost like Tinder or something, I think, with like what you like and don't like, and then it'll help you put it together. And I got something like that. It's the beginnings of what you're saying, because I've been talking about that forever. Is that you can get? I'm sure that they're building this, but you could have like an artificial intelligence player, like, so that you could be like, okay, I got my bass player, and like I've been training him. Like you only feed it like James Brown bass lines and different. Oh yeah, COSO, COSO. That's what it is.
Wow, as if Serato isn't that anyway. Like
we got to look up what it does, but yeah, that's the name of it, COSO. And like, but you could train. Let's say you only make funk songs, and you just feed it like every funk song, like a drummer AI and a bass player AI, and then you could have it jam with you in your thing and then take parts that you like from it, and it only knows what you fed it, and then you can chop those parts in your Ableton, like, oh, that was a good part you did, artificial drummer, that's my friend. But also I was thinking like you could build it up, like let's say you, the same way with my Serato, I've been doing it for years, you build up this AI for years to sort of train it to what you want. You could like sell that like Sak Noel's
because
AI of bass, and then like
history.
It can jam on your bass.
I'm already just
like a plug-in.
The sample packs and moving into that.
You're already doing it.
I'm already
You're
moving
an AI.
into that. Yeah, definitely.
Are you even here?
No, I'm already processing.
We're going back to virtual from here.
It's a hologram.
Well, so something that you know, we've been talking about all these changes and adjusting and going with the flow with the different things, but I think something that, and how different you guys are, you know, different music, different producers, different countries, different everything. But I think that something similar is that both of you have worked with DJcity, Beatsource, and, you know, Edwin, Phenom over the whole time, you know, for a long time, and our audience loves both of your music, and I feel like plays it just as much, but it's totally different. So like, I wonder, what can we learn from that? Is there anything we could get out of that, you know, where like, what have you guys done to be able to get the DJcity and the Beatsource audience to really like your stuff and to grow with them, you know, over time, and have that be the one constant through your production career? Is
it maybe because we're like DJ producers, like
right,
we make records that.
So for me,
try to make
the
it
audience, like the DJcity audience is like, I think it's an audience that's mostly forgotten for the producers. Like you know what I mean? Like it's either like festival type of music, pop records, but there's no like you know, a record that you could play in a venue or a club that's made for that specific venue and club, which is the bottle service open format room. Right. And what I try to make personally is, you know, cater to those people. Okay. So they always have like an alternative or like a version of you know, a record that they play that's Sak Noel that they know is gonna work. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because these DJs are the majority of the DJs in the world. 100%. And they are not taken care of properly. DJcity does a good job, but you know what I mean?
They're the one playing all the music.
Right. But the producers, and a lot of the artists don't pay attention. Like I know like Diplo or certain artists will care about the DJcity audience and make sure they do things for it and make it, and you guys obviously, but a lot, I think that's an interesting point that a lot of producers don't even think about.
Did you start as a DJ before you were a producer?
I honestly, no, I started as a producer, but I wasn't producing seriously. Yeah. I was just messing with computer music programs.
Okay. When was this?
That was when I was like 16 years old. I don't know, like
5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. 5 years ago. Yeah. And and then I started DJing, and I implemented whatever I learned from DJing to the producing and vice versa.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, but it was after meeting with Edwin and just coming to LA and seeing the whole US market, because the US market, it's a beast on its own. It's a completely separate from everywhere else. Right. Yeah. And how 100%. The markets operate and how many DJs are not being fed the right type of music. Yeah. Right. So I was like, I'm going to take care of this. I personally make sure that every DJ gets, you know, the version they need for their clubs. And I don't need to make music for the festivals. I can make music for the festivals. I can make music to be cool, right? But I don't want to forget about the, you know, the normal DJ, like the DJ that spends like 6 hours in a club working, and those DJs need the stuff. And I'm not talking about edits and extended versions. Like I'm talking about full-on remix. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, right. I want to give my time to that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
They're the ones that play most of the music and all different styles of music too.
Because I was one of, I mean, I still am, but I mean, I had my residencies back in Spain where I would do 6 hours, so I know how it is. And now I don't do that, but I still feel like, you know, there's a lot of DJs that are in this point, and wow, man, there's a bunch. I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm a good person, which I am, by the way. I'm saying this also,
I agree.
Like everyone listening, like there's a huge market right there that nobody's tapping into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. There's all the, and I think you have a similar thing, whether you're conscious of it or not. I mean, you make all the songs that you've made. We talked about on the last podcast, like that they're songs DJs can play even if people don't know them, and it'll still work, and people are dancing to it.
I'm like subconsciously conscious of it.
Yeah,
like it's so deep in me because I started as a DJ for like 10 years before I even learned to produce.
Right.
I don't even listen to music at home on iTunes or Spotify. I listen to it in Serato. I download the song, I put it in Serato. I want to put a cue point on every song. I want to make my loops. Like,
and your stuff always sounds so good and looks good in Serato. So that makes sense.
I hate my mix and master.
Well, like Bend Over, Bend Over, for example. I mean, such a huge song. I play it still all the time, and like that was one of those songs that worked the first time I played it. It wasn't like people were like, what is this? And I think, and it was an original song, obviously with Lil Jon, but it had that same feeling.
That song is so good though.
Yeah.
I tried to copy that so many times.
Nah, I've tried to copy it since.
No, I tried, and I think like in the back of my head, I'm always like, there has to be more music like this. But nobody.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not much. I mean, that's hard. Still a staple part in my set because I have mixes with it, and I don't have that many songs that have replaced it, and you have songs like that too. That trumpet song is like almost like a
every time play
classic legend. Like it just sounds great. It doesn't get old. It doesn't sound dated. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's a DJ friendly song that you could play. I remember playing it when nobody knew it. Same thing. Let the trumpets.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes, of course. And then Toka made like all the songs. So I feel like it's interesting to hear you guys describe it because that is true.
I think like this even when I'm writing, because I've done a bunch of shit, like some soul stuff, indie shit, and like I think like that with that DJ mindset, how to cut the fat on songs that are like acoustic songs or like soul or blues or even just like hip hop, whatever.
That's cool
because people are like, oh, structure is everything with the song. To me, I'm like, it's kind of simple because that's my entire DJ career has been making edits and like thinking of song. Oh yeah, okay, I love that song, but let's go straight to the hook here.
That's so important.
You know what I mean? And like that applies to all music.
And that's where being a DJ helps because you're able to see it in real life. Oh, when I push this button and go to the end and cut that part, everybody keeps going crazy. When I leave it, everyone looks around. So
playable doesn't just mean in the club. Playable means anywhere.
Right.
And if like it's even more important now. It's like if you don't catch them in the 3 seconds.
I know.
Like, which is fucked. But at the same time, it's like it makes you think about, oh fuck, am I getting into it? Like shit, I got to get to the hook quicker, or I got to like maybe you
can't be like
long instrumental
jamming out in your studio like oh such a nice feeling like 1 minute long.
Do
of a
that
thing.
To make it.
Yeah.
And then cut.
I mean, I sometimes do. Yeah, like long songs just for the variety of it.
Yes.
Yeah, and for the fun.
They never get any attention.
Yeah, and then you got to find the snippet to promote it or whatever. And like, people do like long songs, but like just in terms of making songs that are playable and appeal to DJs, that's so much more universal to all style of music because it really playable, like I said, just doesn't mean in the club. It's
that's anywhere. A great skill you have. So like knowing to trim the fat. This is one of the most, important skills a producer and DJ can have.
Yeah.
If you have this, you're gold.
Yeah, you if you can understand that less is more and that you just put just enough, and then pull back and then...
I spend way too much time editing songs to go into my Serato to then play.
Okay.
Because I just am so anal about it's almost like I have to make an edit to nearly every song.
Do you really? You edit almost every song?
Not every song, but like I've literally, because I haven't played for the last 3 months. I've just been here working, producing.
Right.
I go next week. I'm in Australia, and I start to run some shows.
Oh wow!
And I've already this week. I'm probably a quarter way through the amount of songs that I want to edit, and I've done 35 edits already.
Damn.
And it's like, fuck, I'm probably going to do 100 edits before I go back.
And what kind of songs? Like, what are you playing?
All sorts of shit, like that Doja song. I'm doing a lot of like club drill flips, which is like just taking a song like Clarity, the Matthew Coma acoustic version, speeding it up to 170, putting some drums over it, Thought shit with a ballet ballet funk.
Yeah.
Baile.
Yeah.
Shout to Matthew Coma. He's a fellow dad in my kids' class.
So dope. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're like our kids go to school together.
Wow. So you have the DJ Sound School, like they all go together.
Pretty
like,
much,
oh my God.
No, I met him. I was like, oh, I play your music. I listen to your voice. You know what I play?
Damn.
He's in a band, Winnetka Bowling League is the name of the band now, and they like tour around.
He's such a dope vocalist.
Oh, he's super dope.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, funny, cool guy too.
Yeah.
I get to hang with him at like the school functions. I'm like, you're my music friend.
But like songs like that.
And he's married to Hillary Duff now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So she's
There
the
you go.
mom.
Look at this. Oh, these meetings at your school must be interesting.
Hectic.
Oh my God, you don't even know. Having a child in Los Angeles and sending them to school, like the amount of people that I've been at like his preschool. We had like Amber Rose and Wiz Khalifa. You know, we're at the Halloween fair and she's walking around with like the tightest pants and he's like eating gummy worms like super high. Like, well, you know, I'm like, and like Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are walking by and it's like the craziest Hollywood
I hope people don't
schools.
start having kids now just for the networking.
Yo, honestly, it's crazy network. The amount of people I meet that own like the craziest businesses or do things in the industry, I'm like, yo, let's talk. Like, I get better networking through my kids' school stuff than like going out at night in LA.
what I've been
Any
missing,
listeners
man.
out there want to have a kid so we can network?
I'm telling you.
I'm just
Me
gonna.
and Matthew Coma doing an album. No.
I'm pretty sure you can rent one in LA.
Yeah. I'll give you my kid for the weekend. Yeah, it's you just pretend.
It's American.
Oh, you could be a nanny. That could be a way to be a manny.
Nah, I want to be a nanny.
You could be a nanny, and then you just get access to the kid
Yeah.
enough to be at the park long enough to meet Diddy. I've seen Diddy at the park and shit. You're just like, yo, what up? Got my kid, you know. Like it's that dad connect. You know, you hook it up.
The dad connect. Eh?
The dad music connect. Start a business together. All right, sorry to go off topic with that. I lost our train of thought now too.
Oh yeah, what?
But yes.
Oh no, I was editing songs.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So
All
so
sorts.
you're playing that, and you're gonna go into your dog theme for like your DJ sets, like
Yeah,
with
I'm obsessed with this club drill thing,
Yes.
and because it's essentially hip hop, but
Right.
allowing.
And so for people to listen, go to Buried by Dog, DAWG
Yeah.
on Instagram
them.
or TikTok,
Yeah.
or anything. But those are the main ones you're
Main
posting
ones,
these
yeah.
videos, and he will flip. He has his own songs, and he flips songs into like drill remixes.
Yeah.
Has a whole has mixtapes.
I just did.
and,
I did a Kanye West mixtape back in the day, but this is my first mixtape that I've done. I was only ever doing small mixes because I was like, what's the point? You make a full mix and then you got to figure out what's the 15 seconds to 1 minute you're going to push it, and that's where all the views are going to be.
But I love those that you have that is like 30 seconds of everything together.
Yeah.
Man.
And I'm like, should I finish
those
this?
quick mixes
With the video and everything. It's
Right.
Like,
You're like,
I had to ask him, like, how do you do that?
People have asked me about that. I'm probably going to do a tutorial on how, like I did the intro and the mix and the video. But the video was simple, to be honest, like in the sense that the two cheat codes that I did to make these edits was I'd get all the songs that were in the mix and I just watch the video on YouTube but hit screen record. So I'd only screen record that moment that I needed. And then you just throw it into fucking Final Cut and you just warp it. Like you just retime it roughly and then make cuts. That's why the clips look like it's going like that all the time. Because I just roughly time it. So it's like
I
not
thought maybe
really
you were
synced
DJing
properly.
it off Serato video.
No,
or
I can't
something.
do that. I don't even know how to do that.
Okay.
I know my way around Final Cut.
Right, got it.
To me, it's the same as Ableton.
Yeah.
It's simpler. It just takes more of your storage space on the computer.
Yeah.
But video editing in that form is just like audio editing.
So you video edit all of your TikToks and Reels in Final Cut, then?
Yeah, I try to keep the TikToks kind of just. My TikTok ain't shit at the moment, but like just as simple as possible.
Well, it's been building.
The
I've seen
videos.
you since the beginning. Yeah.
But I've done the mixtape intro and then like mega mix things, and I found when I'd made the video with other clips sliced together in and amongst me mixing,
Right.
like they really kind of people reacted to them, and
That's cool.
You know, I've done that in the past with previous projects, and I was like, it was fun to be able to bring that skill back. But
Yeah.
it's when you figure it out, especially if you know how to edit music, it's quite simple.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like we were talking about with you guys being from all over the world, what brought you to America? What brought you to Los Angeles? Why did you want to be here and make such a big point of coming here, you know, and doing the music from here rather than just being in your home and blowing up there?
Well, when you travel and you know people, you start realizing like, yeah, my country's great, but it's maybe too small for music.
Right.
And I first met, you have a big country, so
But wait, there's probably a bigger population.
He has a continent.
yeah, I have a continent.
Australia's huge,
Dog.
but there's only 35 million people in it.
Right, right.
So
how many are in Spain? I don't even know.
40 something million.
Damn.
Yeah, we're all crammed up, but you know, it's just it's a small market. You have a better market. The Spanish market, music market, is really bad.
Both have nice beaches.
That is true. You have them here too. Not in LA though.
Nah, not as good as
Not in
Australia.
LA,
Australia
though.
beaches are dope as fuck.
Not
and I
in
can
LA.
imagine Spain beaches.
No, they're good.
Oh
They're
man,
good.
Yeah.
I was just there like for my first time for
Yeah, he knows
a
the
couple
deal.
weeks in Spain.
He knows the deal.
It was the
So
best.
then I met Edwin and I met different people and everything seemed to be bringing me to the West Coast.
Okay.
And I had been here many times, you know, for performing. So at one point I just decided, let's make it my place. Let's make it my home.
Wow.
So I just came here and I stayed here. That's the
That's like
decision.
a brave, big move, though.
I mean,
you know,
the
to
only
do
thing
that.
is just, you know, all the immigration process. It's a little bit time consuming, but
Yeah.
not that complicated.
It seems brave, but like I'm sort of the same, right? Like I grew up listening to hip hop,
Right.
And you know, like Snoop and Dre and like just all the whole music industry of the American music industry runs
Right.
the world essentially, and that's what I always looked up to and idolized all the way up to like, you know, the AM era and like Steve Aoki and that early fucking, remember the early shit they were doing with the LMFAO and Justice and
Yeah, of course.
like that open format electro scene. Like I made like that's where everything was to me. Like Europe was popping, but to me, like American music was just everything.
Right.
It still is for the most part. And then, you know, just making trips as much as I can out here on the like holiday visa.
Yeah.
Met Phenom again. I was buying vinyl from DJcity when they were only selling vinyl.
Wow.
Crazy.
And like that's how I met Fee. And you know, like years passed, coming out, and yeah, I was signed to Ministry of Sound, the touring agents, like as a touring agent,
Okay.
in Australia, and they helped me get my first visa, and then from then I've been able to just kind of keep it, which has been dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth quite a lot.
What's the process for the visa or keeping it, or what is it?
I mean, there are
hard?
different routes. You probably have
I got the O1 visa, and I want to say that it's extremely hard, but my manager Matt did all of it, so I can't take any credit for like he did all the work. But apparently it was like 150-page document.
It's not
type
that. No,
shit.
it's not that hard. I mean, it's
Well,
time
for me,
consuming.
but
No, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's just time consuming.
You don't need Matt.
yeah, fuck Matt. No, I
Fucking
love
Matt.
Matt. Shout out Matt GC.
But
Matt is a lord.
Yes, Lord Matt.
Matt is a sick cunt.
Yeah.
like I was
Mad
joking,
cunt.
like I could
Mad
start an immigration agency because I don't my visas, I don't my green card, and I help Salvis. I had other people like I always,
Nice.
But
I'm always bringing new people in the country because I'm always giving them like my testimonials to like different artists. Like I did like
Oh, nice.
yeah. So I'm like, he got the immigration.
it's not
problem.
easy though.
Call Sak Noel, he's got it.
Yeah, it's not easy though. Like we take, I mean, I feel that sometimes I feel like I'm taking it for granted because I know a lot of people who want to come out here who may not have had some of the, you know, like some of the placements or whatever that I've got that have allowed me to, you know, get the visa. You know, like the cosign from Little John was like helped heaps, and like the few records that I had got with like Pitbull or whatever. Like,
So they know you're like an official real person that could do work.
Yeah, you got to
and
like
not just
show
someone
your
like, hey,
credentials.
let me come.
Yeah, and like I know a lot of people who are like want to get out here, and it's hard because it's a lot of money, and there's no guarantee you'll get it, especially if you don't have the credentials.
But it's a fair system. If you actually do a good application,
Yes,
chances are you're getting approved. It's not a bullshit system.
Yeah.
It's a fair
you
system.
just got to get a good enough lawyer who can tell you that your application's good.
Yeah, that's the key part.
Worthwhile.
Okay.
You have to hire someone to actually help you out putting it together because they like it certain way. You can have a lot of information. They just need to address it the right way.
Right.
But even if you don't like have a visa. I was coming out here before my visa on holidays, like, and you can network and you can work on music. Like I know the people that I see come out here do that as well.
Yes,
you know, because
that's the way
like,
to start it and figure out if you want to even be here. Right?
Exactly. You know,
some people like being the big fish in the small pond, right, and staying in their town.
That
and
helped me get out here.
Right. Yeah. And then you come here and then you can take it as far as you want.
I love going back to Australia, and I imagine it'd be the same going back to different parts of the world that you know quite well, especially when you come back here. You've got that new flavor, and that like it's a different outlook when you come here. And I'm working with some people and stuff that I might think is like normal in the way that we do music in Australia. They're like, whoa, that shit's fucking weird and dope, and they want to do more of that. And so I love going back and feeding like off of the art and shit that's happening.
Yeah, you will always be an Australian. I'll always be a Spaniard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something we cannot reverse, but it helps us. You know, you know, right?
I think my accent gets stronger while I'm here.
Really?
Because it's more entertaining. Yeah, this is not a comical, fun accent.
When you go home, you're like, hey, everybody, like, how are you? I'm in Australia.
I have a light Australian accent compared to my family.
Really?
This is not strong. And people are like,
I can understand you, so it's not strong. If I understand you, you're good.
Yeah.
Because there are people like all Australians, I'm like,
they're fucking hell, mate. What are you doing? Let's get some bags.
Yeah, I'm putting the closed captioning on if I'm watching an Australian show on Netflix. I'm like, wait, what?
Or a New Zealander show.
Yeah. I'm like, what'd they say? Wow. Okay. Well, that's so interesting, and that's such. And I think a lot of people will be able to learn from that and be inspired by it, you know. And
I mean, to be here, to be in the States and in California, it's a privilege, man. Like you know, it's something that we had to fought for, and many people want to be here. So
I think a lot of people take it for granted on this side. Like I grew up here my whole life. Like I grew up right here. You know, like
that's insane. Hey, that's so dope.
10 minutes from like I was born, you know, and right by the Beverly Center, right behind, and like grew up in Hollywood till I was 10 in Santa Monica. You know, and you don't really realize it, I guess, till that. Even hearing you guys say those kind of things, like. You take it so for granted, you know, growing up, oh, what do I want to do? Oh, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. And it's like really other people are trying to get here and have these opportunities and do all this kind of stuff. And it's something that you should realize just being in America as a whole, but let alone being in Los Angeles and growing up here, all the opportunities.
Man, every time, especially when I first came out here and I'd you'd walk past or drive past the school in Hollywood, it always blew my fucking mind. I'm like, the people grew up here. Like this is not just, it's like a whole movie set.
I know.
Felt like now I've lived here, like kind of, you know what I mean? But like at first I was like, wow, that's weird.
No, I understand the feeling. I had the same feeling. Like sometimes
imagine going to Hollywood High. Like what?
I know.
Jesus, man. Like
I went to Seaford 612 Adelaide, baby. Fucking down the real south.
I mean, this country has a great marketing.
The real south.
It has a great marketing. Internationally, United States has a great marketing, but it's mostly true.
You mean as in like what's good about it?
What you sell. Right. What you find when you come here, it's mostly true.
That's interesting. Like you get what you thought you would get.
yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I mean, I'm probably going to like it, but I don't know for sure. But once I stepped foot in here, I was like, okay.
It is nice as a big mix of people. Like that's what I noticed when I went to Barcelona was I felt like it was very international and there was a big mix of people there. Like it felt like I was in Spain, but it felt like there was people from all over the world in Barcelona. And then some other places feels very much like you're just in that country, you know, and you don't know what's happening. But here, there's everybody, you know, like every different neighborhood and every different kind of person. And
the big major cities are often like that. Always seem to be like that.
The difference between Spain and here is like that mix in Spain is mainly in the big cities, Barcelona and Madrid. They have a little bit of a mix. In the States, is everywhere. Even in the small towns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the way the country is built.
Right.
And that already puts in an advantage because if you have people from everywhere, you have different, you know, thinking ways.
Right.
Different mentalities come together for and all sharing the same goal, at least until now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the greatest human, you know, experiment that's ever been done.
Yeah.
Because every other country they had their own past or whatever. Here's everything came, you know, from everywhere. I put it together towards the same goal. You know, it's just great.
And it's interesting how, in a way, you were saying that all the American music was coming out where you guys were, and you looked up to it and you heard it. Now we're in the future, and all of the music from the world is coming to America and becoming the #1 songs, you know? And it's a weird full circle thing where, and it maybe has something to do with, like you're saying, the country's built like this. It's every different culture, every different language, everything. So now it's becoming bigger and bigger, and we all listen to so many different kinds of music that the top 10 is going to be a song from Korea and Spain and here, there, you know, like Puerto Rico, California, you know, it's like they're from all over the place, and maybe that's something to do with that, you know, like. I
mean, I think that's aligned with everything that's happening
too.
What's happening right now in the world, like the fragmentation of everything. It's in trend of what you're saying.
Yeah.
But this is just something. It's a trend that's going everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this, like, for example, like many people say, with reason, that Bad Bunny is a global artist, which he is a global artist. But when I go to Europe and I play in an European country that's not Spain, I find it's always a trouble because they don't know Bad Bunny.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, they probably know him, but they don't know the music. You know what I mean? So that's a problem, and that's, for me, that's fragmentation.
Yeah.
You know, he's the most listened artist in the world or whatever on Spotify, but in the real world, he's not. In the real world, like the Pitbulls or the J-Los or the Drakes or everything, they're more global still because they have music that caters to different cultures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's this two sides of the coin. Like there's the fragmentation and the globality at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is, it's really mind-blowing what's happening right now.
It is. You know who was ahead of the game? Pitbull. Globalization.
Dude. No,
globalization, baby. That's the word for it.
He was ahead of the game, man.
He was rapping over the Avicii songs in 2012. And now it's all coming back.
The only person that was flipping songs was Pitbull.
Right?
5 years ago.
About it. Yeah.
Everybody
he named his radio station
songs.
Globalization, and now it's all global.
It's the worldwide.
Mr. 305. And
his old shit, like, how do you pronounce it? Cali Ocho? Cali Ocho. Sorry.
That's Australian. Cali Ocho.
Bojangles. Oh, man. All that shit was
Yeah, you're right. The up-tempo, But it's crazy how
that's my favorite type of Pitbull.
Yeah.
I mean, his new shit's dope too, but like that old era Pitbull.
Right. And just the way he created that station, and Edwin, you know, it's kind of funny, like in a way, like I'm not kidding, like, you know, Edwin was like, we're going to get every different kind of DJ and play every kind of music. It's not just going to be Latin, or it's not just going to be Pitbull songs, or, you know, and like.
That's why he went global, and he's still global. I can play any Pitbull song and I want everywhere, and they're going to sing along. And again, I play Bad Bunny and I get the creak, 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 you know, the silence, the awkward silence.
You know who is global? Edwin.
He's the real Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
He is.
That's true.
He's the network. He's the connector for this.
Yeah, huge shout out to Phenom, Edwin. We're trying to get him to. We're trying to get him to talk on this podcast.
He said he was going to.
He said he was going to, but he ran away.
He connected all of us here that are sitting in this room.
A GoFundMe to get him on this podcast, but it's going to be a defund me. So the amount of money we raise is actually how much he's going to have to pay for the time that he hasn't been on this podcast.
Defund Edwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's the ultimate dot connector, and honestly, connecting people around the world. Like, I mean, even when I went to Europe this summer, he's like, all right, hit up Boromir in Spain, and when you're going to Paris, and do this, and, you know, and it was interesting because I DJ'd in Madrid, Bad Bunny, massive. DJ'd in Paris and London, Bad Bunny, not huge. And DJ'd in London, and they wanted me to play all American hip hop. I was like, yo, I just got this whole set ready of all this other stuff. Yeah, and they're like, no. Play Drake.
So I guess the definition of a hit right now, you should change.
Right.
What's a hit?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like before, it used to be like a worldwide hit. Oh, we have it. Everywhere is the same. #1 everywhere.
Right.
But I still like. There's something really interesting about this. Is that, for example, like the James Hype song Ferrari or the AK's Do It To It.
Right.
Those are really worldwide hits.
Yeah.
And as an artist, they're not bigger than Bad Bunny, obviously, but their music is bigger than his songs. So it's like
they're simple.
Do you think maybe
the complication of the thing right now? Like, you know, it's just what is what.
Is it something to do with the fact that these are club records? These are like, you know, these are records dance floor records essentially,
Right.
and dance floors are a little bit more like
But
common
I think
everywhere.
also
as
clubs,
opposed to,
like it used to be like the club records stayed in the club, but now the club records go on the social media because everyone's making up a dance. You know, so there was no like we weren't dancing in front.
danceable records.
I honestly think it's the language, like they're English records, and the English culture is the main culture.
Maybe
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, even in the
and they're simple. I mean, it's like bounce with it, ladies. Here we go. You know, and then it's like Ferrari. You know, very simple.
So, for example, like a country like
love
let's say like
that flip of
Germany,
Need a Girl.
yes,
like Germany or Poland or whatever, Finland, they never had like Spanish speaking songs on radio. Maybe like some words, like my music has been there, but it has some words in Spanish. That's fine, but never had like full Spanish song. But I always had the English songs, and so it's a paved road for the English market already in those countries that are not English speaking. You know what I mean? So the main thing is, I think, is the language is still English is still
probably then,
You know what I mean?
Right.
But Spanish is like the second one, and that's what's changed. I think that it's not what you used to.
I don't think Bad Bunny's that big in Australia either. Like he's big, but not that big. I always see the like DJcity posts on that. It's like the horrible DJ requests. Oh, play Bad Bunny, play Bad Bunny. I'm like, you kind of never really see that in Australia. I mean, maybe I don't play everywhere, but like it's not as big like there.
Right. Interesting.
So yeah, as a DJ, you don't have to stick a language. So we have an advantage on that field.
Oh, I mean, here it used to just be only English songs on the radio. Now you hear like Korean and Spanish and, whatever's a big song, will come out. And it's crazy, like, just how the Kate Bush Running Up the Hill gets big on Netflix in the song. And it's on Kiss FM now every day, all day. And my son, who's 9 years old, knows the song now by heart because he hears the radio, and I'm like, no, that's an old song you're listening to. He's like, really? And I'm like, I had to show him the history of it. So everything is changing.
That Toxic Pony, that mashup that then became official is
crazy.
That's so motivating and inspiring to me because it's
I think a lot of the record labels now see that and they're trying to make a push to like do these official mashups, and that's where Beatsource, hopefully is creating some things like that DJ. Too. Yeah.
That's gonna be so good
because eventually we want to be able to share. We're all living online. We're all living virtually and in a lot of ways, and so we have to be able to share music and do different stuff. And I think there's certain platforms I think that are adjusting and certain ones that are not. But like it seems like YouTube is always at the forefront of letting you put stuff on and then paying the artist that rather than taking the video down, right? Like what are the platforms that you guys notice that help you grow the most? I know your YouTube is big. You're doing TikTok a lot. Like
my Instagram is where
your Instagram is the main.
It's got the most engagement.
Okay,
I feel like that's where my fans.
For me, YouTube is the best one. But again, I mean, I don't hate Bad Bunny. Like I like him a lot. But this summer, I just did one remix of his songs of his new album, Un Verano Sin Ti. And you know what? Of all the artists in the world, you wouldn't think that Bad Bunny is the one that actually gets you a takedown request, like a strike on your channel, an actual strike. Yeah. Because normally they only like demonetize you or like this is not yours, fine, whatever, you don't monetize. But the distribution of his or whatever, they just took it down and strike my channel. Like I was like, God damn, son, this is the first strike I ever gotten.
Oh wow, that's what I wonder. So why some songs they have the thing just hears it and then just pays the artist and it's fine, and some they actually strike you.
And I thought like Bad Bunny being independent, I was like he understands more than anyone else. Like that the people like Nicki Minaj, for example, I think she's in a major label or whatever, and she put the acapella for everyone to
that's dope.
Yeah. And
Beyonce
did too.
But that's Bunny, so like the independent strikes you down. Like what?
That's crazy.
What?
Wow. Oh, that's good to know.
My channel's been affected in a very bad ways
from that.
Yeah, because my views have gone down a lot.
Also because they just
Are we starting a defund Bad Bunny then?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Sorry.
No, we love you, man.
His music is
someone's going to blow up this office. Yeah. No, but
do we need to play some Bad Bunny?
Yes. No, then we'll get taken down immediately. We just learned.
If you play Bad Bunny, people coming here in suits and guns.
Yeah, they take down the whole podcast. They own the podcast after that.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. No, but it affects you because when you get a strike, it's like you can get 3 strikes.
Wow.
The third one, you don't.
And but it's hard to get a strike now, right?
Well, that's what you thought before that, right?
Exactly.
Well, I just heard yesterday they came out with the new Shorts creators thing for Shorts, where they're going to pay people now for the Shorts, just like they're paying people for Reels and the TikToks. And they're going to, because before the numbers weren't going towards your payment, and now they're going to go towards it. Good. But you have to have 0 strikes and 10 million plays within 3 months on Shorts, or I don't know. Do you put your stuff on Shorts?
So yeah, I sort of.
I'm starting to.
Yeah, I've only just kind of started, and it's
because I wonder, like, YouTube seems like the platform that will live past everything.
Probably.
You know, Instagram
it already has.
Is crumbling, even though I don't think it's crumbling as much as everyone's saying. I think them adding all the stuff, people will start to use it more.
I don't actually think it's crumbling.
But some people like to say, like, oh, it's like Facebook, it sucks. Like, I don't think so either. I mean,
even Facebook doesn't really suck. If your market's there, your market's
right,
there. It's like knowing where you're.
People are just fatigued. Like, when a certain app has been there for like 10 years, people are tired of it.
People are on Instagram posting Instagram's crumbling.
Right. Yes, exactly. But I do think that YouTube is the only one that's ever figured out how to make it a job for people, like a real job, rather than an Instagram model or someone that can figure that out. But like, they've made it where people have whole careers off having YouTube channels, and they're trying to figure, and they're really pushing hard on those Shorts, which they're battling TikToks and Reels, and maybe they'll find a way to make a more long-term thing if people make a career out of it rather than just like, oh, I got a viral reel.
But the only downside of this is that even if you build a career on YouTube or social media, you always have to understand that it's not your stuff. You can get, you know what I mean? Like, you post it there.
Yeah.
Because like, if you have like social media, like everyone does, and you put the stuff there, always back it up on your own website, or have a website that's separate.
Yes.
Because, you know,
great advice.
You will get. I mean, it's not your. YouTube is not your place. It's not your house. You don't own it.
Oh, it's so true.
It can get taken down at any time. So keep everything separate.
Yeah. Even
if you don't post it, or just keep it separate, or build a website that eventually it's going to be your home and it cannot never be taken down. Because I've seen so many careers destroyed because a change of policy. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we don't own any of this, and they don't care about us at all. And they'll change it in 1 second. And you see that with everything, even these huge corporations, you know, and they'll be like, oh, we can't advertise anymore. They turn the tracking off. It's like, okay, well, you built your whole business around this other business. So that's true. Keep it separate. And you can always repurpose it and use it later for other things too. Yeah,
separate the content from the platform. I think it'll be a headline.
That's true. Let's see. What's some other that's clipped, baby. Clip it if you're watching on YouTube, or we'll put it out. I mean, some things I also wanted to talk to you guys about were you know, let's see. I'll kind of list off some of them like, and then we can decide what would be the most important things to hit on, but like well, I guess I was talking about putting content out, but that's what we're going to talk about. But like having a team and like building a team, and in the same way you've built a team and you have your manager and you've built, you know, whatever team you guys have, like how important that is, and how you even go about that, you know, like finding the people you trust. I know we also want to talk about like DJing on sticks versus Serato.
Let's go with that.
That's too long.
No.
And I wanted to have you guys
fist fight.
Okay. I wanted to have you guys give each other like tips, like production tips, if there's any like plugins you really love to use, or you know what production workstation you use, or just tips like you were saying with the editing, not doing too much, or like things like that, and things you've learned from studio sessions. And then I got all this other funny stuff listed at the bottom if we get there. But yeah, I mean, do you want to talk? Let's talk about some of the production stuff, because I think we don't get into that much on the show. Okay. And then we can talk about maybe the stick versus other thing. But so yeah, do you guys have any like production techniques that you could share with each other, maybe that might help each other? Or maybe is this a crazy question? Either whether plugins you use.
Use Sak's splice packs, his sample packs.
Thank you.
They're dope.
Okay. I use them. All the time.
I use Splice.
I mean, yes, I have to say it because it's true. It's true.
They're great. I use Splice all the time. I love it.
Me too. Yeah. So good.
It's great.
I'm an Ableton guy. Like, let's just start at the bottom. I'm an Ableton guy.
Is that what you use too?
Yeah, every normal DJ and people.
I feel like it is. But if you're a DJ producer, I know you said you didn't start, but starting, because I was editing songs before I learned to produce. And I've always found Ableton the best program for that. And so it was just that, you know, natural progression to learn in that program. And I just found it's the best for manipulating audio.
Yeah.
And
it is.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree. Totally.
I used to have Cubase.
Me too.
And wow, you could tell it was German. Yeah.
And I mean, I even used FL, and it was like, that's good for making beats, but not for editing. Okay. And like, I don't know, if you're a DJ and you want to learn how to be a producer, it's like, start with edits, then move on to like edits / remixes. And like, you know, you don't have to make something completely from scratch. Find an acapella, put some shit to it, or find a song starter on Splice, like go to his sample pack or whoever, you know what I mean? And, you know, take something and build around it. I always found that every time I make a mixtape now, like that last mix I made, the Club Drill mixtape, 10, 15 beats have come out of that. Because not only am I making the mix, I'm adding drums, I'm doing edits within the project. I'm like, oh, that's a flip of Tokyo Drift, which then turns into a dope drill beat that I'm then like, oh, let me just take off the bell, write my own bell. And then suddenly I've got this brand new beat that actually stands up to the other drill songs I'm listening to.
That's dope.
Because I had to make it sound good enough to sit next to them. Whereas if I'm just making it independently in the Ableton, it's like, how do I know that's going to sound good next to other things?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The whole the incorporating of DJing.
That's a great way of producing. That's and smart.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I don't listen to every song. This has kind of become a habit of mine. Every beat that I make, if I think it's something worthwhile, I'll bounce it out of the session and I put it in my Serato. So I've got, even if it's just a loop, most of my shit's just loops. So then I've got it, and then I'd like write it in the artist name, Dog Bounces. So like I can type that in, go through all the beats that I've made, volume 1 to 25 or however many versions I've worked on. And then I can, you know, especially with the fucking pioneers, you can plug that in and you can key shift all that shit. And I'm like, oh, I'll change whole keys, tempos of songs, putting like a Weekend acapella or a Drake acapella over it to see if it sounds good. You end up changing the whole fucking beat. That's interesting.
That's funny. I just was with this really big music producer this weekend, and he was like talking to me about, I was showing him the Rev 7 Pioneer thing, and he was like, oh yeah, I use the effects on the Pioneer for all my productions. I just do it like that and then record it in.
I've actually been doing
and I'm
that
like,
a bit.
that's crazy. He's like, it sounds, and he gets everything. UAD, he has everything for free. He's like, I just use the Pioneer stuff, you know, even on the old mixer. He's like, it sounds so good. Sound. Yeah.
Like the reverb and distortion on the DDJ that I've got is different. Every time I do something live and then try to recreate it,
it takes forever and it's like, hard.
No, I like that how that was.
Right.
So I might just go back to my Serato and then like, you know, I did this flip of Usher Burn, and like where I took that, I think that you should let it burn. And I was like, I think that you, I think that you. And I did that with the reverb and distortion, and it sounded so fucking dope doing that. With that, like put a bit of distortion and reverb on it. And so I just hit record. Serato Record is a fucking cheat code as well for making mixes, adding your scratches. Then you've got it separate because I'll play the mix or the beat back from Ableton. Hit record in Serato, do whatever little thing I need to do. And then I've got like that. It's almost like it's an acapella or it's a single stem. Throw that in, I can edit it. Half my cuts aren't even what I did probably. Like that from that bit and that from that bit.
Oh, that's a cool idea. You just keep recording in Serato, and then you can take that audio and chop it together.
Ableton, and then it'll be like a 3-minute loop.
That's a great way.
I never thought about that.
And then I just throw it in, and then I can pick the parts. I'm like, I've been DJing for 20 years, man. Like, I don't need to prove. Everybody's a better DJ than me. And also, I don't need to prove that I can do it. So, like, I just want to make the best quality thing I can in the quickest time I can. So, like, it's Ableton and the controller.
That's great.
It is great, man. This is a great way of thinking.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers, cunts.
It is.
Cheers, cunts.
Nah, that's why I like having these conversations.
You got me frothing over that.
Frothing the bags, hey, get the fucking bag.
Frothing the bags. That's what I told them earlier that I went to a comedy show last night and I sat next to 2 Australian people who had just landed and it was their first time in Los Angeles and they were super fun to sit next to and they were laughing at everything like so loud that they made it even funnier. And at the end of the night, the guy's like, I'm just going to shoot my shot, mate. He's like,
I like it, actually.
He's like,
sounded British.
You guys know, I don't know what I'm doing.
Keep going. I love
He goes, you guys know where I can get any bags? And I was like, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, you mean like the bags with the powder in it?
Get the bags.
He's like, yeah, mate. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but I'm like, damn, this fool just came out of nowhere, just straight asking for cocaine.
It's not that taboo in Australia. Like, it's such a taboo thing here.
It's like
I guess
a vitamin.
Because of the crack.
That explains a lot.
Like
every
vitamin
Australian
C.
baby gets given a line on birth. Fucking take that up, you mate. No,
now it all makes sense.
That's not true. But it's not as taboo. Like, I'm sober these days, or I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
But I always found my struggle with addiction, not that we'll get into that,
right.
but
I want to get into it. I know we kind of got a time limit here, but
that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, I want to talk
podcast
the only cunts.
where we talk about trying to be sober in this industry.
Trying.
Yeah.
No, but that's the
Are
key
you
word.
sober?
Well, right now I am.
It's 9 a.m.
That's my difference, right? Is that I'm struggling with it and I'm trying. I'm not like I'm
hard.
not successful,
right?
But it's only alcohol that I'm trying to deal with.
Yeah,
like there's so many people who have seen me at my worst drunk. I'm like, dude, you got to be sober. I'm like, yeah, right. I know. I'm like, that's what I'm working on.
It's kind of breaking that habit that your body feels like it needs it. I guess, or your brain.
It's not even. It's my brain because it's the dealing with the social anxiety.
Yeah,
right. But then
because you feel like you have to be doing something or adding something, and the alcohol.
Yeah, and just numbing the shit, Right.
And
then when I've gone out, like back in the day, I don't do coke that much anymore. Well, I haven't done coke in a couple of years.
Just like every day you do.
Like no, I only ever drunk or did drugs to party, so it was never an everyday thing. Anyway.
Right. I'm kidding.
But I always found people would be like, man, you shouldn't drink, and then I'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna get a bag, and they're like, dude, that's even worse. I go, you wait. I'll get smashed drunk, and they're like, and then I'll do a night with them where I'm just doing blow. They would take blow any night of the week. Me on blow is fine.
Right.
Me drunk, disastrous.
Yeah. I guess you just never know what you're getting nowadays with the blow. You see people like Mac Miller, all these crazy things.
Did he die from coke though?
I think so. I mean, I think they cut it with
coke
fentanyl.
In this country,
that's
it's taboo. I mean, yeah, but I mean, how many times have you bought street whiskey?
Just a couple.
See, like if you could
I go down to that corner and this dude has it.
If you could buy coke,
he lets me pour a little in my mouth. Yeah.
I think you could in the past, right? Like in the
should be able to.
Like in the beginning of the
cocaine users
century.
Need to band together the way that the alcohol users did in the past and fight prohibition. Get the bags, 2022.
Oh my God, we need a whole nother. We need a whole nother.
That's gonna be.
Oh my God, we didn't even get to talk about OnlyFans.
Anyway, sorry.
A lot of stuff.
Go check out my OnlyFans.
Go check him out on other people's OnlyFans.
I've been on other OnlyFans, but no, I haven't got mine. Maybe one day.
Not doing music.
I'm not confident.
Check out his other career on OnlyFans. Australian hot girls. You guys also film a lot of videos with hot girls, and I don't know if that adds to your marketing.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I haven't.
Now just hot dudes.
Yeah,
this YouTube algorithm is crazy. It sees an ass or something, and it's boom, bye.
Oh, interesting.
You gotta. It's like I think there's a certain distance that you can actually, because I've tried like if you put like a twerk ass in it's close to the camera, it always gets flagged.
Right.
If it's a little bit far away, it's all right. Especially if you mix it with something else. But I used to do like twerk videos.
Ass algorithm.
Twerk is an art, man, and I used to do twerk videos.
100%.
Like it's all girls twerking, even guys. You know what I mean? But it just gets demonetized or all the time. So it's like, what's the point?
It's weird, right? Because TikTok seems to be the strictest on anything sexually, visually sexual, right? Yet it's the place where the most raunchiest, thoughtiest, sluttiest, in the best way possible, visuals and chicks and guys are. it's like we're talking about like, oh, how do you survive? You know, if your YouTube or whatever goes down, like you constantly follow hot girls where it's like, you know, new account lost mine at 100,000.
Oh, right.
Third account lost my last one at 50,000. It's like that's the battle. We don't even have to battle it the way that some like people.
Well, we have it with the music, I guess. If you get
sex workers do or whatever.
The Bad Bunny strikes.
Yeah,
yeah, it has to stop.
Yeah, come on, but
remix more songs and show more ass. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up, but I was going to ask one last little thing in here, and I forgot. To tell you the truth, full disclosure here. I just wanted to discuss, if we have just a couple more minutes, like, do you think it's possible to become a big DJ or a long-term DJ or have a long career as a DJ without producing music now? Or do you need to produce music?
I think you don't need to produce music.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
No, because nowadays a lot of the hype and, you know, attention and engagement comes from the personality. Mm-hmm. So if you're a great DJ and you communicate something with it, you don't need to produce.
Okay.
I mean, eventually you will produce. But
maybe for the longevity, like, do you think they'll be able to keep that going with the personality?
Well,
eventually you'll produce, but you don't have to start with producing. No, because you know,
right, you don't have to start with it.
Yeah, but because you can engage people, like, it's like you went to a comedy show.
Yeah.
Does the guy doing the comedy produce? No.
Right.
But he sells out, right? It's the same. If you are able to sell out.
And then eventually he'll get a TV show, which is almost like his album.
My point, yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Okay, that's interesting. And a cool connection.
I agree with that 100%, right? Because a boring DJ doing nothing, but like it's cool, it's like skilled, but just boring to watch and interact with, is the same as a boring producer. Who cares what the product is? If you're like, it's like you got to be a personality, whatever your personality, even if that is a shy thing. Look at like your Adele's or your Ed Sheeran's. They're kind of like these humble, you know, but that's their personality. Right.
They're still being genuine in a way. And even how Nick Spinelli, the wedding DJ, kills it. He's himself, which is why his thing blows up.
I would go watch him, and I don't care if he produced music or not.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's interesting.
To the other side of that is that, like, if your product is music as a DJ or producer, the only thing is that if you don't produce, you're only making like music off of other people, like mixes, mashups, or whatever. You're constantly going to battle the fact that you're dealing with a product that's not yours.
Right.
You know what I mean? The claims, you can't put shit on Spotify. You're going to get, you know, the takedowns, all that shit. So, like, if you can learn, I mean, I do feel like we're in that time where, you know, maybe make mashups, maybe make bootlegs, or go to Splice and get the song starters, but just put them together in a way that make it sound like you. Try to put your voice through whatever medium you're going to do. And, you know, but I honestly think, you don't, especially now. It does feel like we're back in that era where, like, another AM could pop up off of just mixtapes, or mixes at least. You know, because like the visual and like quick element and nostalgia of your TikToks and your reels, like there's so many fucking dope as fuck DJs popping off on.
But I guess, but looking from the outside, some of like, let's say Vegas clubs or Ibiza or festivals, they don't seem to book DJs that are just DJs yet, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole conversation, because they only seem to book the DJs that they know or friends of, you know. They don't really book a lot of new stuff. It became like a bit of, you know,
who's associated with an agent or something.
Yeah, right. And most of the DJs don't produce anyway, so they have ghost producers. So
what I think it might
pretty face.
It might take is a DJ to blow up the way that whatever that guy's name that did the Toxic Pony, right?
Yeah.
Like if he then did a bunch more, and that blew up, and then the labels came together, released them officially, and so his Spotify top 10 is all his mashups.
Just mashups.
But they're official, then suddenly that person is someone who could go headline a festival. Whereas if it's just viral...
Well, you know what? It's almost like Girl Talk. Like I remember seeing Girl Talk
and I hope that happens.
And he's coming back. I just heard a new remix.
And it might be an NFT
new mashup. Maybe.
Like the Gorillas mix Girl Talk.
Yeah. I heard Girl Talk.
It's an AI.
That would, yeah.
OnlyFans. No.
I heard they're playing in the background of your OnlyFans while you're having sex with the girl. The Girl Talk, I saw him like headline like the second to biggest stage at Coachella when that stuff was so big and it was so nuts in his show. Then he went to like producing, I feel like for 11 years, and he just came back with like a new mashup like yesterday or the day before. And I feel like, and all these people were like, thank God we're back. So that is interesting that you're saying that, because, and he was someone that I did see headline a thing while playing like someone else's a cappella over another.
Yeah, it's definitely an art form, but it's that risky art form that you're like.
And how Z-Trip, you know, would do those stages. And so I guess there's a thing for it, and maybe it's opening back up.
Because I mean, I truly
but the production
believe
does help in a sense. I think that's why you guys.
Well,
do
it's another medium, but it's not the most important right now.
Okay, interesting.
I produce a lot, and my main source of income and my main source of everything is the producing. But I'm saying this from this perspective.
Okay,
it is not as important as it used to be.
Like mashups and mixes, which you would consider as DJing, right? Are as a part of producing, to me, as like drum programming or like. Right. You know, coming up with something on a guitar. Like it's the same sort of, it's just a different instrument.
You need to produce content.
And the only thing is I'm using other people's materials to do it, so I'm going to run that copyright risk. But I, you know, truly
That's the one thing is a lot of people always ask me, like, are you on Spotify? I'm like, not really.
So let's say
sucks,
if I make an illegal, like, let's say it like that. I started, like, when I did my illegal remix of Do It To It, because it was illegal at the time. Now it's official. But when I did
that's amazing. Congrats on that.
Illegal,
too.
Right?
That's happening more and more now.
I got like 2 shows out of this.
Yeah.
So is that considered music producing? Because, you know, I got shows out of something that it's not really a production of mine. I mean, it's my remix, but it's not mine.
True. Yeah, but it is a production.
How did you make it official? Did they hear it?
Yeah, well, I knew the label.
Okay, and you said,
and
check this.
Them,
okay,
and they were like, okay.
But I mean,
but it's cool to show that you just take the initiative to make it rather than waiting for them.
A lot of people. I mean, that's what that Toxic Pony thing is. My friend Restricted, he's like a like minimal DJ in Australia, and Krunk. Krunk did a flip of a bootleg of a Billie Eilish song, which they never put it out, but they paid him and made it official. The same thing happened with Restricted. You know that flute song that goes, how does it go? Deep Throat, when she blows my whistle. Give me a tune. I
don't know. Sounds good, though.
It's a fire drill song, and it blew up on TikTok. He made this minimal remix of it. Like, it goes into this dope thing, and then they just made it official. We put it out.
Wow.
And it's like, that shit happens nowadays more and more. There's that fucking mashup of Bee Gees, Staying Alive, and 50 Cent in the Club, I think, that blew up on TikTok. That's now an official Spotify release.
Really?
This is happening more and more, and you just got to run the gauntlet. You just got to do your bootlegs, put them up. I mean, you're gonna have it sucks. I hate hearing that story about the Bad Bunny thing, because strike. I felt like strikes had gone, but maybe not on TikTok. They don't really strike on
there. YouTube.
Yeah,
they put you on a strike, and then actually you have to go to copyright school. Like you're a dumbass.
No, like traffic school or something.
Yeah. So that month I actually did traffic school. It's a Coolbet Red Flag City project. Thank you. It's just like, and I did copyright school and traffic school at the same time. So like I felt like the dumbest person on earth.
You're getting reprimanded. Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Fuck the laws around music. Hey, music does not. Once a song has been released, it doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to everyone. I truly believe that. Anybody should be able to do anything. Now, that's something weird for an artist to say, because you want to, like, the gray areas, well, how do you get paid?
Make money. And
which you should get the money. You should be paid for your time and, like.
Look, I'll do you one better. I can do a remix that's illegal, and they can get the money. Like,
right.
Like you know what I mean?
That's how I feel like the YouTube and all that should work.
Right?
Right.
Exactly.
And that's kind of how I thought it did work. That's what was surprising.
It's like, why are you, like... Well, when they monetize your stuff, when you make a remix and they monetize it, that's the way to go. Don't need to be taking it down for what?
Yeah.
Well, taking it down, I'm still gonna play it. They're not gonna come and take it down when I'm playing, and maybe other DJs play it. So it's like, you know, that whack-a-mole thing. They just try to.
Yes.
This is just a view of this is old school. I don't know, man. I'm just ranting. Sorry.
No, it's true. All right, yo, I think we're reaching the end of the episode, but I feel like we could talk for another 3 hours. We might have to somehow do another one
thing just got warmed up now.
There was so much stuff I want to get to, but we don't want to make the longest episode ever. So,
or do we?
No, ask Vlatz.
He's like, nah, bro.
Vlatz is the one editing all this videos, so I think
shut up.
We gotta make his job easier. If we weren't on YouTube, we could talk for 10 hours.
Sorry.
We'll do the live stream Twitch version. Thank you, everybody listening. Send Vlatz a thank you card.
Yes, and send him money.
And send him at least $1. We need the GoFundMe. Oh, we need all the money from the GoFundMe goes to Vlatz, actually. Yes.
We defund Edwin.
Defund Edwin.
And it's going to buy him a switcher that can just do this instantly.
If we start a GoFundMe that gets you like heaps and heaps of money, can we just talk for 5 hours? Oh, yeah. It's up to you, listeners.
Please, let's do this. Subscribe to Sak Noel's Instagram. He's going to donate part. No, I'm still trying to get my subscription out there, guys.
I can donate. Yeah, bro.
No. You keep that. You keep that money.
Sorry,
it's going towards you. It's going towards your the sample packs.
Oh man!
All right. Well, yo, go check these guys out. We got at Buried by Dog, DAWG, at Sak Noel is where you find them on all social media, right?
Yeah.
And go support their stuff, listen to their music, and post clips of this on your own Instagram if you're feeling it.
We're big fans of your show.
Yeah, man. I love it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys. This was so fun. This was a first of its kind, and actually it was really fun to do this. The time flew by. I was like, oh, we're going to be all right. But like I said, I feel like we could talk for like another couple hours. I have so much stuff written down that I'm like, oh my God. So
we'll do part two.
This is amazing. We got to do this again.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the show and coming and taking your time.
World's best podcaster.
Shit. Thank you. Just hitting that snoop button. Blat out. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Let's produce a new theme song. The collab, the dog, Sak, Spider will all produce it.
Morning cunts.
Yeah.
20 podcasts.
We need a new intro song. So I want to make a contest for the listeners to like do a new intro song. I'll scratch on it or something.
I'll participate.
Yeah. We need that. Yes. All right. Yo. All right. Thank you guys. We will see you out there.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Cheers.
For sure.
Have fun in wherever you're going. Australia, Spain, around the world. Okay, peace.
Peace out.
Hollywood.
Okay, that was a classic episode. Oh my God, I felt like we could have gone on forever. There was so many crazy things, unexpected things in there, and things we didn't even get to. So we might need a part 2, 3, 4 of that. Who knows? Thank you to Kronic, aka Dawg, and Sak Noel for coming on the show. Love those dudes, and got so much out of it. And also, love you guys, the listeners, the Beatsourcers. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you guys for listening. We're on every platform, so if you're listening to us on audio, you can always check the video on YouTube or vice versa. We're on Apple, Spotify, all that. Rate and review with podcasts and help us grow, and tell your friends. Post the clips on your social media. Help us out, guys. But thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. The 20 podcast is produced by Beatsource. Join us next week for more interviews as we discuss music that matters to DJs. I'm DJ Spider signing off. Peace.